Hello, and thank you for stopping, looking, and listening to our divine appointment here today. I am Sandra, and I am so excited and pleased to share today with the one and only Arvel Byrd. Good day, sir.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can barely sit in the seat. It's a thrill to have you in Fort Wayne.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back?
Snowflakes and all.
Where did you come from?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, and when was the last time you were here?
Last September, I was in Grable, Indiana for the Grable Country Fair, and it was just a real quick concert, and then we left right after the concert for Knoxville for another series of shows down there.
Now you're here today for the Windsong Film Festival.
That's right. I'm here to celebrate the Windsong Film Festival by seeing some of my music performed in the films, and to perform myself tonight and tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I guess it's 6:30 to 7 is when I'll be playing.
Well, I am truly honored to be in your presence today. And we welcome all of our viewers. I'm sure they can barely sit in their seat too, because we are going to have a high-flying day today. So the concert's tonight.
Yes.
And when did you get here, last night?
Yes.
Yeah. And you have, in that concert, now I know the truth about you, Arvel.
Uh-oh.
I heard the music. I heard some of the music, let's see, the Monkey's Paw, and that's coming up later. But I heard also the music in Fantasy Island, the Fantasy Pirate Island music. Oh, I have clips to show everyone.
I
Tell
haven't
us
heard
a little
any
bit
or
about
seen
it.
it yet, but
You haven't?
no.
So this is all new. You're
Yes.
stepping into it.
But I understand that Michael Floyd is using tracks from the Rakish Paddy CD that I recorded a couple of years ago, which is a Celtic instrumental CD. It's real fun music. I used, besides the violin, there's the penny whistle, flute, guitars, Ilian pipes, button accordions.
Ilian pipes, what are those?
The Ilian pipe is a Irish bagpipe. And instead of blowing into it with your mouth like they do with the Scottish war pipes, there is a bellows that they work with their arm, and that produces the air that goes into the pipes, and it's a more mournful sounding kind of bagpipe. If it's not played just right, it'll sound like you're squeezing a goose, though. It's a double reeded
Inquiring
instrument.
minds always want to know these simple things in life.
It's a difficult instrument.
Yeah. Well, this is my first time meeting you, and I'm a little nervous to be around such high quality individuals. Tell me a little bit about the history of you and Arvel Byrd.
Well, I began playing this instrument, the violin, when I was 9. At the time, my older brother was playing the accordion, my sister was playing piano, my younger brother was playing piano, and I was not playing anything. So I decided I wanted to play the trumpet.
Oh, the trumpet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, but we had a violin in the family. It wasn't this one. It was a larger instrument than this that was made by a gentleman out of Gooding, Idaho, named Joe Smithbauer. He gave an instrument to my mother, and so that's what we had in the family. And so I decided, well, I'll just give this a try and see what it's like. And I struggled because I was a little for my age, and the violin was bigger than this, and normally you're supposed to be able to hold your instrument out, and when you put your arm out and grab the scroll like this, there should be a bend in your elbow there. Well, my arm was just, I could barely get it around the end. So I didn't have much wiggle room to play with, and if it hadn't have been for the first violin teacher I had in Salt Lake City, Utah, I probably wouldn't have stayed with it. But going to lessons was a spiritual experience for me. It was an awakening. She was patient, she was kind, she was nurturing. She taught me to love music, to love the violin. She taught me how to stand, how to talk, how to smile. It was
how to be one.
Yeah, it was. So I was hooked. And so I credit her with the whole continuing to play this instrument, because playing the violin is not a natural thing. You have to make your arms bend in weird ways, and your fingers have to You know, you've got to have two brains almost, one for this side and one for this side.
I just give you permission right here, right now, to play whenever you want, because you know I'm curious. I want to know all about you in this short time that we're together.
Well, I studied classical music for about 11 years, and at the end of 11 years, I had moved from Arizona, where I was growing up, to Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, and I was studying privately with a world-renowned teacher named Paul Roland. And he's a Hungarian teacher. He had his own methodology and pedagogy of teaching. And he took me apart as a player and then put me back together. And up to that point, I'd only been playing with maybe 50% of my ability, because when I got in front of people, in front of cameras or anything, I just froze up. I got real stiff, and you know, it was a struggle to get the music out. So he just kind of maybe, I don't know, lubricated my joints, but he made it flow for me. And after a year and a half with him, I realized I knew how to play the instrument, but I didn't know what music was.
That's a short time.
I know it was.
Half?
It was.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. I quit taking lessons though at that point, and I quit reading music because I wanted to find out what music was. And so I would go in my practice room, which has windows on two sides, and I just let the sun stream in on me, and I'd just play whatever came to me. And I would just do this for hours on end, day and day after day, and after about a month or 2 months, music from my soul came to me. And it turned out to be my soul song. As I was playing this music, I was getting visions. I was seeing a movie. You know, I was playing the background to this movie that was taking place. Yes. And every day it was the same movie.
Really?
And I was playing the same music to the same movie every day.
I see tears in your eyes of joy.
Well, it's a very emotional thing. This song is a very emotional song. Because it comes from so deep inside me, it's connected. And since my soul is connected to the Creator, you know, it's the Creator that's coming through me when I play this. And when a person becomes tearful in a sense like this, it's because they are close to Spirit. And I've come to know that. I didn't know why, but I would sit there and play this song in my practice room, tears would be streaming down my face. And I still get emotional about it. And this was 1970, 71 when this was happening. And I kind of, I put that whole thing to rest though, and I started playing other kinds of music. I started playing bluegrass and country music, mountain music, folk music. I was going everywhere. I was playing Cajun music, and then I got into jazz, and I was just following where the music took me. I was going from Illinois to Kentucky to West Virginia to Canada down to, and finally here in Indiana,
and
Fort Wayne.
Today.
I wound up here in Fort Wayne for about 8 years, and I really started my solo career here. But it was in country music and in fiddle tunes, and I was doing fiddle contests, and then eventually moved out back to Arizona and hooked up with a band that got hired by Glenn Campbell. And then I started touring with Glenn Campbell around the world, in England and New Zealand, Australia, and the United States and Canada. And we decided to move to Nashville because after 5 years with Glenn Campbell, I had kind of peaked or plateaued with him. I wanted to grow, I wanted to know more, play more, but you know, that was it. I realized that I was at the ceiling here with Glenn, and there was no other opportunity within his organization to grow or develop. You know, I was pigeonholed, pegged as the fiddle player, and that's, you know, all I did. That's all I could do, according to him. So we moved to Nashville, Tennessee, so I could get more involved in the music industry and publishing, recording, studio work, and my wife was a songwriter. We were writing together, and we always had the idea that we'd be working together someday. And my idea was that she would be working with me, you know, in my career as a musician, as an artist. It took us about 10 years to realize that goal.
You were doing it. You were living it.
Well, I was playing everybody else's music. After Glenn Campbell, there was Louise Mandrell, there was Tom T. Hall, there was Ray Price, there was Loretta Lynn, There was Clay Walker and a host of other, one-album artists that were dropped after the first year from the label. So after 11 years now, the call, I felt the calling again,
yes.
Coming back from 1970. Come back to your own music.
Yeah, come back home.
Because, my music has something to say. It has something to teach, something to draw people back to the spirit with.
Life-changing.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Yeah, it was a life-changing. And about the same time that this was calling me, I started getting involved with Native Americans and my Native American heritage. My mother is from the Shivwit Paiute people of St. George, Utah, and my father is from the Scottish people. This is the Scottish and English. The head cloth I'm wearing here is the Kennedy clan of the Highland of Scotland, County Ayr of the Highlands of Scotland, and where some of my ancestors came from. And so I have both Celtic and Native American heritage, and I was pursuing both of them at the same time musically, but the Native American side just really took off and the doors just opened up. We've been touring the country now for a year and a half, playing some of the biggest festivals in Arizona, New Mexico, Florida, of course Tennessee, Georgia, and New England. And it keeps growing and keeps snowballing, so I keep going with that.
And it's snowing here today in Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and when I perform or play the violin in the Native American tradition, when a person plays the flute or plays the drum, they're not just playing and singing, they're praying.
Yes.
They're praying the drum. They're praying the flute. So I'm praying the violin when I play it, and the violin is my voice, the voice of my music that comes to my soul from the Creator, and my prayer is that it can touch somebody's heart when I play it.
Arvel, that's what I think this show is. In its vision of one world, one dream, in the spirit of unity. It's everlasting, it's eternal, it's real. We're not acting here today, we're real. Allowing this to flow through us and everyone around us with our camera people and a director and our audio person and through the #1 access station in the nation. Isn't this fun?
It's very fun.
It's very fun. And I can't wait to experience you and the oneness with your instrument.
Well, let me play some music from 1971.
Okay.
That I didn't have a title for this soul piece.
Soul piece.
But I would always play it in the morning. For some reason, it was like getting up to say your morning prayers when the sun comes up. I would get up and play this song, and it was always before breakfast, so I called it my breakfast suite.
Oh.
I'm going to re-record this song eventually. I recorded it back in 1981 and had it put on my first album, LP at that time, and it was called Breakfast Suite. There's several, and it's called a suite because there's several movements to it, and it's a journey. In my mind, I'm seeing a young man journey through different cultures and different life experiences, and it's a circle because he comes back to the beginning, where it all started. He comes back to his tribe. And when I was playing this music, initially, I felt like it was very tribal. It was very earthy, tribal kind of music, and it was about a tribal experience, lifestyle that this person was having, and about his place within the tribe and within life itself.
I always think that everything goes back to origin, to heal.
Circles are very important to Native Americans, and so this song is a circle, but I'm only going to play the first movement.
If I let you. No. We'll be honored to hear the first movement.
And I'm probably going to rename the song too. I'm going to probably change its name from Breakfast Suite to Tribe or Tribe of One, because I secretly always called it Tribe because of its tribal feel. And but in 1970, I wasn't raised in my culture of Native American culture. Although my mother was a half-blood, she denied that she had Native American blood, and because of the persecution, the prejudice, the
Yes.
suffering, that she went through growing up and as an adult. So in her generation, that was widespread, and not only among the Shivwit Paiutes, but all across the country. The Cherokees, I hear this from a lot of
yes,
people.
and I don't think that she was alone.
No, she wasn't alone.
But do you know what? I think mankind is breaking free from that now. I think we are in that shift of the age, and where that truth in the individual is seeking to find and healing.
That's true.
So I think we're going to experience so many more individuals like ourselves as the revolutionary. We'll say you are. And I'm going to let you go so you can play with your instrument. And feel free to stand up and take the front.
Should I bring this microphone over?
If you will.
All right, let me do that.
And we invite you out there to stop, look, and listen, and just be free with the music.
If you will, imagine that there's no light. It's all black. It's just total darkness. And out of this blackness, you see a pinpoint of light. And the pinpoint of light starts to grow and grow and grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And out of this light, you see solar systems and galaxies everywhere. And out of these galaxies, and you start focusing in on one galaxy, and then within that galaxy you find the star, and you start going towards that star, and you start seeing a solar system around the star, and you see a planet, and you're focusing on that planet, and you're going down towards this planet. And within this planet, you're seeing the water and the earth and the clouds, and you're seeing the land, and you're going towards the land, and as you go closer and closer, you see a village. And as you go into this village, you see a woman giving birth.
to break the sounding piece. Oh, a brilliant. I feel like I was rebirthed.
Yes.
I feel like I was born again in this moment.
That's what happens to me.
I feel free. When you first started, I closed my eyes and went to that place, and I was gently reminded of Access, Angels at God Central Station, which is the corporate name of what I'm doing, and went through that birthing, and then I just felt like, and I came out and I just grew with it and stayed one with it, and now I'm free. That's amazing. That's amazing. No, it's not amazing. It's the truth.
Violin is a very healing instrument. All music is healing because it's a communication between my soul to your soul and to the listeners. But the violin, because of its frequency, it vibrates in the higher registers, of our bodies and our minds, and it can help bring balance and harmony within the body, within the structure of the spirit. And I had been told by some spiritual people that I should be playing the violin for people at rest homes and nursing homes that were getting ready to make the transition, because it could help them receive the vibration, and I've taken my violin to hospitals, and some people will call a priest, when they're getting ready to die, but some people call a violinist. And I've done that here in Fort Wayne, as a matter of fact.
Right here in Fort Wayne?
Uh-huh.
Wow. They'll be calling you long distance to help assist in that transition, if that's the transition of healing, whatever healing place they're at. That's a beautiful, beautiful piece.
So that's the music that I perform now at a lot of Native American festivals and powwows and events are music about animals and their totem meanings.
Totem?
Yes.
I found out who my totem is. It says a jaguar.
A jaguar.
Yeah.
The big cats, the pumas, the cougars, the jaguars, probably, they're the animals that taught us humans how to hunt. Because of their ability to steadily watch and slowly stalk a prey. That became the model for a human hunter. But you and I don't have to hunt anymore.
No.
We're hunters now of visions and hunters of enlightenment and goals like that. And probably the puma or the leopard, jaguar.
Jaguar.
Probably you're the kind of person that has a wild side,
Not me.
You're the kind of person that would maybe want to run out and get lost in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Or, run through the forest at night and dance around a fire and wish for simpler times. And the jaguar probably can help you balance out your need to satisfy those ancient desires that came when we lived that way to our more modern needs of being able to adapt and become successful in a modern society and still keep our balance. I think that's why a lot of people go to Native American festivals, because we live in a concrete jungle that's got us out of balance with out of harmony with nature and ourselves and our neighbors. Our feet never touch the grass. We're always wearing shoes or walking on concrete and asphalt. So they come to these festivals looking for a way to reconnect with the earth and reconnect with nature.
Arvel, time's running short. When's the next festival besides tonight?
Well, we are
Feature.
We're leaving for St. Petersburg, Florida next Tuesday, going back down to Florida. We've been down there 3 times already this year and going back for another couple of trips. And I'll be performing down there all week at a Native American village at the St. Petersburg Folk Festival. Then I'm going up to the Pequot Museum in Connecticut.
When is that, like time frame?
Time frame, 3 weeks away.
Okay, 3 weeks away.
And I'll be performing children programs there at the museum and then and 2 adult concerts as well.
Oh, I shall continue our saga through the weekend by joining you tonight for your live concert.
All right.
But from the soul part of my being, truly, and I know I'm speaking for everyone out there, thank you so much for coming on here today.
My pleasure.
We are
Pleasure's
honored to have your presence, a true gift. And Angels at God Central Station wishes you on to your destiny.
I'll just play some music out then.
Please.